Get your torches ready. Get your candles ready. Are you prepared? Power grids shutting down across the world in several countries. Portugal, Spain. Going to be showing you the articles in a minute. It's just a coincidence, isn't it, that we had Klaus Schwab say not so long ago at the World Economic Forum that there would be cyber attacks that would bring a halt to the whole world and all of the power grids would turn off. No internet, travel affected, everything, electricity shut down. Yes, you might think this is another one of these crazy conspiracy theorist ideas from a nutcase, but you'd be wrong because it's being reported on that there's power outages, power grids shutting down, places like Spain and Portugal. Is this just a test, a psyop, a pre-planned agenda for Agenda 2030? Are they planning a complete shift to take over the entire world and form their one world order, one world government? Okay. The grid goes off, everything goes dark, and the great reset kicks in motion when it turns back on. We're not crazy. It's true. We've got power coming, we've got power turning off in several countries around the world. And Klaus Schwab said this not so long ago. Coincidence? No. Pre-planned.
The Global Security Outlook Report 2023. This is a result of research in collaboration with the forum's communities and our partner Accenture, in which we've interviewed and sought input from over 300 executives globally. The most striking finding that we found is that 93% of cyber leaders and 86% of cyber business leaders believe that the geopolitical instability makes a catastrophic cyber event likely in the next 2 years.
But still, pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services. Our society as a whole would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
So there was the World Economic Forum globalists that are over the top of all the government and the world leaders, telling us a couple of years ago that in the next couple of years, the greatest threat they face are cyber attacks. Cyber attacks hit the electric grid. Cyber attacks shut down the electricity. This that's happened in Spain, Portugal and France is a blackout, and it's hit metro systems, airlines, transport's been greatly affected. People in certain shops can't pay for things on their phone anymore. So people that have relied on paying on their phone are now screwed. People that have relied on their electronic devices to pay for things in the shops have now been smacked in the face because they're going to pay for things as they normally would in the shop, and it's not working because everything they've been told, okay, to use and rely on has now been shut down and took away. Click of a finger, unexpectedly to the mass population, but it was expected by the globalists, as you just heard. So is it something that's just randomly happened, or is this being done on purpose? Are they testing things ready for the great big event that's coming? A major global shutdown of the power grids. No internet, no electricity. Everything comes to a halt. Train lines, metro systems, airports, everything coming to a standstill. Electric cars shutting down everywhere, all over the streets. As they've shown you in this movie right here, Leave the World Behind, with loads of Teslas abandoned in the streets. All predictive pre-programming in the minds of the masses that cannot see straight. A rabbit between headlights. They do not understand the plans and the evil plots of the enemy that are happening. They do not understand the globalists' mind and their agenda. Okay? This was done on purpose, and there will be much worse, bigger, shocking events coming down the line. They will shut down the entire power grid on this earth to cause chaos and panic. And throughout the chaos and panic will arise their new system, new world order. Okay? They've told us everything they're going to do before they do it. They've told us about a cashless society, a social credit score, digital ID still being banged on about, especially by people like Tony Blair in the UK. Absolute madman. Every human being to be marked with a digital ID, a health certification, identity, and all this stuff, a digital wallet. Everything they've told us that they're thinking about doing in the future, yeah, the public should be putting down. Maybe then they'll prepare and they won't be so shocked when things like this happen out of the blue. Because to you it's so random. The grid shutting down and the blackouts is so random. Let's panic. But it's not random to those who are running the show. They've told you that that was coming. They told you a couple of years ago, as I just showed you. Came out of the horses' mouths. You think that everything's just random in this world. No, everything's being done on purpose for Agenda 2030. Research everything. Research Agenda 2030 thoroughly. And the Sustainable Development Goals thoroughly. We are not conspiracy theorists. We are wise and we are paying attention. Those who think we're crazy are ignorant. They don't want to know the truth. They want to hide their head in the sand. Well, we won't. Every step you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you. Yes, those of us paying attention are 10 steps ahead and we see everything coming down the line. You do not scare me either. You don't scare any of us. Because we know. And this is just another one of their agendas for their New World Order, their Great Reset, which, by the way, came out of 2019 when the Great happened. When that happened, this came out of it. I know this because we just come down here. The guy that you just heard speak about the cyber attacks and the blackouts, which are currently taking place now, the guy you just heard speak about that, his name's Klaus Schwab, founder of the World Economic Forum. He wrote a book. And what was it? They're resetting, guys. The power grid's shutting down. It's a test. It's all part of their plan. And you're buying into the BS because you're dumb. The man you just heard talk, I brought his book. Professor Klaus Schwab. Do not tell me I'm a crazy nut conspiracy theorist when every world leader stands on the stage with this man. And this thing here brought a standstill to the whole world in 2019. Had families turning on families. It was a lie. It was a pre-planned event to get in the what? The Great Reset. From the man himself, who I've just shown you, has admitted to future threat of cyber attacks which bring down the power grids. Also, written another one, The Great Narrative for a Better Future. New World Order. the Great Reset. The reset of the whole system. Now it makes sense why they would want to turn off the power grids and cause mass blackouts in different countries around the world. A test for a massive global scale version coming in the future. They get the world dependent on being online. Every human being has a mobile phone, can't go out without it in their pocket, frying their brain. We got big towers set up, 5G towers, 6G towers coming, frying the brains of the people. Okay, I've already covered in a video here how we were right about them spraying over the sun and spraying in the sky, spraying chemicals and things all throughout the sky. We were right about that. It's gone mainstream. We're right about this as well. The blackouts, pre-planned. This word, pre-planned. Don't want to argue with the ignorant mass. The ignorant masses don't want to argue with you because you're wrong. You're clueless. And you better snap out of your ignorance. Because it's your ignorance that's going to get us into this mess in the future. Because you won't stand and resist. So I wanted to show you that this whole thing is pre-planned. Here's a couple of articles, okay? Power outages, blackouts, Spain, Portugal, France, okay? Metro system shutting down, train lines not working, electric cars shutting down in the streets. Of course, they run on electricity. They get you dependent on the phones, dependent on social media, dependent on your TV, dependent on your internet. Can't even do anything without your mobile phone. Okay? And then with the click of a finger, everything that you've got so used to that you rely on is now not working and it's gone. The power is in the hands of the global elite and the technocrats. You dummies. It's time to start preparing now and wake up, because when the big event happens, was you ready? Or will you starve to death in the dark? I want you to watch this. This is what hit the news. I've already shown you Klaus Schwab admitting to future cyber attacks.
With breaking news, large parts of Spain and Portugal have been hit by a power outage. Footage from Madrid shows chaotic scenes as the traffic lights stopped working. The Spanish rail company says the outage is at a national level and that trains are stopped and no departures are taking place. Local radio is reporting that parts of Madrid underground are being evacuated. Well, the Spanish power grid operator Red Eléctrica said it was working with the energy companies to try to restore power. We're also hearing reports from Reuters that parts of France briefly lost power following the outages that have also been reported in Portugal as well. The Spanish government, we are hearing, has convened a crisis meeting at the offices of Red Eléctrica due to the power outage. This is coming from the Spanish newspaper El País, who is reporting that. Let's show you the scenes from Lisbon. Portugal has also been hit by the outages. Those are the scenes there. It does seem like the traffic is moving, but I think it's just really confusing situation on the ground. Nobody really seems to know what's happening. Absolutely no word at all on what potentially could have caused this. The Spanish airport operator says that Spanish airports are suffering some disruption due to the power outage, but that they have contingency generators that are active. The countries, Spain and Portugal, have a combined population of more than 50 million people, so a lot of people potentially affected here. The Spanish generator Red Eléctrica says that the Iberian Peninsula has been the worst affected. Well, let's bring in our correspondent Amelia Harper, who's keeping an eye across all of this. Amelia, any clearer about what on earth is going on?
No, this is information that is coming in really thick and fast, and as per those pictures there, you can see that traffic is moving and trying to, from what we are looking at, trying to make its way around pedestrians as there are power outages to those traffic lights, meaning that there is just utter chaos from that live shot there in Lisbon. But we understand that this power cut happened at about 11:30 UK time, and the population of both Spain and Portugal is about 50 million people. So you can imagine just the scale of the impact that this is having. Those are some images there of some of the traffic that's come to a stop due to the traffic light issues. And as you were mentioning before, Spanish power grid operator Red Electrica has confirmed that there are outages across the country. They say it's working to restore the power as quickly as they can. They're working also to analyse what has caused the blackouts, because at this stage it's still very much unclear. In a post on X, the company said all resources are being dedicated to solving it, and it's actually so severe that Spain's Prime Minister and Energy Minister are travelling to their headquarters, the actual grid operators' headquarters, to monitor the situation. So I think if we go through first the roads, we've got live pictures there of what's happening on the roads. Traffic lights have stopped working, and cars appear to just be making their own way as they can through the city. On the trains, I think the same thing, the same situation. The National Railway Company, Renfe, says the entire national electricity grid was cut off this morning. And as you said earlier, it means that trains have stopped, and departing trains that were meant to be leaving stations in Spain have also been stopped. We can see that live shot there. Those traffic lights look like there's nothing happening at all. And Spanish radio reporting that Madrid's underground is being evacuated. As we go through this afternoon, there will be more details coming in, but at the moment, information is quite scarce, and that is partly because there is the suggestion that phone lines and internet networks are being badly impacted as well. Messages that are being sent from here to people in Spain are not getting there, so information coming in dribs and drabs. We've addressed the trains. Now let's look at planes. So local media outlets in Spain are reporting that the power is out at the main airport that services Madrid. That's Barajas Airport, and this is actually an airport that handles over 66 million passengers, making it the busiest airport in Spain. So you can imagine the queues and the frustration within those terminals this afternoon. In addition, this might not be the first thing you think of when you think of power outage and the impacts of power outage, but it's impacted some tennis tournament as well, including the Madrid Open. This is an annual clay tennis tournament that's been suspended due to this power outage. And what happened was this power outage affected scoreboards and a camera that actually sat in the player's eye line. So they've had to suspend play, including for British tennis player Jacob Fernley had to leave the court when play was suspended. It's not clear at what point this is going to be solved. Those images there showing the backlog of the traffic that's been impacted. But at the moment, seems to be quite extraordinary how widespread this situation is.
So I would argue that these power outages, these power blackouts happening in Portugal, Spain, and also in some parts of France, I would argue that it was just a little test to see what would happen to a little bit of the infrastructure and what would happen with the people. A little bit of a test. And I think there'll be more of this in the future, and I think there's going to be a massive large scale one somewhere along the lines leading up to 2030 or after, I don't know. But George Orwell, I don't know whether anyone's read, and I haven't read it, but I'm going to buy the book and read it. But I've looked into it, I've done a lot of research online. George Orwell, 1984, basically speaks about, Big Brother watching you, the eye in the sky, cameras, surveillance state, nanny state, tyrannical government. It's what it speaks about. New World Order, the camera, the eye in the sky. Every step you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you. Every corner, everywhere, all over the globe, in every country. Big Brother, eye in the sky. That's your government watching you down your backs. Tyrant scum I'll say it as it is. I'm not a coward like the rest of the people that want to ignore it. They're screwed. In the future, they'll be screwed. But we need to get ready and wake up as many people as we can that are willing to hear it. Okay? They have got a plan. The New World Order's set in motion. They've told us. We've got the footage. He told us about the cyber attacks like 2-3 years ago. It's just happened. They're doing it bit by bit. Okay? Talking about pandemics, talking about, and all this business. I do not trust them one little tiny bit. I don't even have 1 grain of salt worth of trust in them. At all. I'll go to my death and stand on that. I do not trust them. And neither should you. Digital IDs, cashless society, digital wallet, pay with your phone, pay with your palm, pay with your iris. Sounds a lot like Revelation 13, guys, in the Bible, the mark of the beast. Jesus said, didn't he? You will not be able to buy or sell unless you have the mark in the right hand or in the forehead. See people scanning their iris, scanning their heads, paying with their palm. Right hand and forehead mark of the beast. Or George Orwell, 1984. Cameras everywhere. Everywhere you go. Corners of the streets. Public parks. Supermarkets and shops. End up in the police station. You got to sit in front of a camera and have your face exposed to the whole community. If you were charged. I'm telling you. We're heading into an area here where it's against our human rights. We should stand on the truth and not be cowards. Alright? George Orwell, 1984. Go check it out. Buy the book on Amazon or something. Read it or research it. George Orwell, 1984. Every step you take, every move you make, every breath you take, I'll be watching you. Cameras. Who's watching you? Who's coming for your freedom? Who wants you chipped like cattle? The globalists, your government. I'm not afraid. Throw me in jail. I'm not scared, man. I'm not scared one little bit. I'm ready. Can't do nothing to people like me. Everybody should be ready. Alright? It's power outages, everything that's going on. It's all a plan. Just like the pandemic started this whole thing in 2019. I know it's the truth. And those who just brush it off and go, he's wrong, ignorant, going to eat their words on the day. Because I tell you, in the future, they're not going to see it come. They're going to run straight into it and be enslaved by the New World Order. I won't. And neither should you. So yeah, there's another video added to my New World Order playlist. There will be more coming in the future. Going to be covering the mark of the beast. Again, microchips in the hand and the head. Neuralink, digital ID, digital passports, digital wallets. The old evil sick man Tony Blair. There'll be loads in the future. So if you've enjoyed this video, subscribe, like, comment, and look out for my content. And before I go, just quickly, I would like to give you the gospel, whether you're a Christian or not. So 1 Corinthians 15. 1 Corinthians 15, 3-4. For I delivered unto you first of all that which I also received, how that Christ died for our sins according to the Scriptures, and that he was buried, and that he rose again the third day according to the Scriptures. Romans 3:23-24. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus. So I hope you enjoyed this, and stay free, stay vigilant, stay awake, get out in nature, enjoy yourselves, stay peaceful. God bless.